Alright folks, today I've got the FiTorch ER16 1000 lumen flashlight. It is USB rechargeable. It's got a 150 meter beam distance, 2 meter impact resistance, IPX8, can run up to 60 hours or a half hour on turbo. Here are some of the run times. It has the CREE XP L2 LED. And it's a small little light. It's got a strong magnet on the base of it, a single switch activation. So let's get into it. Alright, so what you get in the package is an O-ring. It's an extra O-ring to go around the battery compartment to keep it watertight. You get a 16340 RCR123A battery. There's no name brand on it anywhere, but it's 650 milliamp hour battery. You get a clip that goes on nicely, but does interfere with you taking the flashlight apart. So when you go to screwing that, see it catches on the push button. So you're either going to scratch your push button or remove it anytime you take the battery in and out. But this battery is USB rechargeable, so you shouldn't have to be taking this off all the time. So that's okay. You get a lanyard. You get a USB recharging cable. It's micro USB to USB. You get a nice holster. Fits in there pretty good. It's stretchy, so it holds it tight even when it's unclasped. It's a compact little unit. And you get a manual. Alright, so with this light, you're going to get turbo, which is 1000 lumens for half an hour. There's a difference in batteries and the output you get. It comes with a 16340, so that's what we're going to go over. So you get 1000 lumens for half hour. You get on the high mode 340 lumens for 1.5 hours. The middle mode is 130 lumens for 6 hours. Low is 3 lumens for 60 hours, and the strobe is 1000 lumens with no time given. Alright, it does have a USB port, and it is sealed pretty nicely. It does have this little rubber gasket that goes in the hole. And when you open the light up, it's got a nice board in there that's labeled by FiTorch, and just a contactor there. It's not spring loaded at all. And there's a spring on the other side, on the bottom side. Your battery goes negative side down, and you'll see that there's a lot of room around this battery. That's normal. This light will accommodate a bigger battery. Alright, it does have a battery power indicator on it. So if you press the power button or the activation switch 3 times, it'll blink. See, it blinked 4 times there, so we know it's got 4 volts. If it were 3.8 volts, it'd be 3 blinks, a pause, and then 8 red blinks. So it'll be the whole number of volts is going to be green, and the decimal points in the volt is going to be red flashes. So it's going to let you know the battery power indicator. And it also has a low power warning. When the voltage is less than 3.4 volts, a slow red blink. When it's less than 3 volts, it'll do quickly red blinks, or it blinks red quickly whenever you turn it on. So that way you'll never not know how much battery you have on this thing. When you check it, it'll let you know, and then when you start turning it on and the battery is low, it'll be blinking at you to let you know that your battery is low. Alright, this flashlight is equipped with an electronic lockout. So if you hold the button down until it starts to flicker at you really low. See that? It's flickering at me really low. I can let it go of it, and now I know it's locked out. So when I push it, it doesn't do anything. It's not doing anything. Alright, so you can still hit it 3 times and do a battery check while it's locked out. That's the only thing you can do while it's locked out. To unlock it, I'm going to hold down on, it doesn't matter if I hit it a bunch of times. The only thing it will do is that battery indicator. Alright, to turn it back on, I have to hold it down until the light comes on. Alright, and now it's on. And the way this light works, so let's get into the user interface, is from off, you can double click and get strobe. You can single click and you get the last mode that it was in. So if we go down to the lowest mode, you can see I can hold it down and turn it off, and when I turn it back on, it stays in the lowest mode. When you turn this light on, it comes on in the last mode remembered, or you can double click from off and it'll go into strobe. And while it's on, if you single click, it goes through the modes. So there's your turbo. There's your turbo mode. That's 1000 lumens. Then you click it again. That's 340 lumens. Then 100 lumens. Then down to 3 lumens. And double click again gives you the strobe. And when you click it again, out of strobe, it goes into high mode or turbo mode. If I triple click, it goes into strobe. No matter what you do after turning it on, if you click it more than once, it just goes into strobe. It doesn't do anything else. So, alright. We can go to whatever mode we want and hold it down and turn it off. Alright, so the user interface on this thing. When it's off, you can click it once and it will turn on, or you can double click and it will go into strobe. So if we click it once, we're going to turn it on and it will have mode memory. It comes on in whatever mode you turned it off in last. In this case, this is the low mode. If I turn it back off, now from off, if I double click, I get strobe. If I double click again, it goes right back to whatever mode it was in. So you see I had it in off, I double click, I get strobe, I double click again, I get off. If I double click to strobe and then click once, it goes to turbo from off or from on. So if I'm on, right, so I'm off, if I click once, it turns it on, it's in the last mode I had it in. If I double click from on, it gives me strobe. If I double click it again, it goes right back into the mode that I was in. If I double click into strobe and click once, it goes to turbo. And if I turn it off, it will think that that was the mode that I had it in last, which is turbo. So to go through the modes, you just click the button and it scrolls down through the modes. So there's your turbo, that's 1000 lumens, and then 340 lumens, then 100 lumens, then 3 lumens, and then the only other mode is strobe if I double click. If I double click again, it'll go right back into the mode I had it in. To turn it off, you hold the button down. So on this flashlight is one single tap, off is holding it down. If you turn it on and then press the button again, you're going to blind yourself if you're in the lowest, because it goes down and then back up to the top. Okay? The beam on this thing is nice. I mean, it's got a hot spot in the middle of it and a big flood area all the way around the edge of it, and this is a teeny tiny light to have such a big beam on it. And we're going to go outside and look at it. But it's got a nice, kind of a deep throw / flood kind of thing going on here. But let's get into the magnet. It's got a good magnet. The magnet seems to be strong enough to hold the light. It's a good, strong magnet. Well, let me show you. Alright, there it is. This is the FiTorch ER16. It's compact enough and light enough that you could clip this onto a hat. It's got a 16340 battery in it. It has a XP L2 LED by CREE. The maximum output of 1000 lumens. It's got one big stainless button on it. It's easy to find in the dark. I mean, there's no mistaking it. It's got a great magnet on it. Well, that's it. Well, I appreciate you guys watching my videos. I'm going to include a link to this light on the video, and I'll also include a link to my Facebook groups where I share things like this when I get them, and share more videos and things like that. Alrighty, appreciate you guys watching. Come back again.